Hi, I just wanted to make this brief video to go over a couple of things I noticed on your rhetorical analysis rough drafts, and I thought it'd be easier to do that with a quick video than by typing it all out. And I did note it on a lot of your actual rough drafts, but I noticed that one of the biggest things I saw that was missing, or it was there but maybe not in as much detail or depth as I would have liked, was your analysis. And I'm attaching a handout that really speaks to what analysis is and how it differs from what you might have put in your essay. So really it examines the question, like you might tell me that Barack Obama, trying to think of a good example here. You might say, Barack Obama targets people's emotions when he brings in Mark Barden's story. And you don't give me what specific emotions he's trying to target with that, or whether or not you feel that that's effective. So if we say, what is the effect that is created when Obama uses this? So there are two reactions you could probably have, right? One is that using the Sandy Hook tragedy to try to move people on the issue of gun control or make politicians feel ashamed that they haven't moved on the issue of gun control is effective. It makes the audience feel guilty, it makes the audience feel sad, it makes them feel sympathetic towards the parents and like they have some obligation as a nation to act on gun control. Or maybe you feel like it's very manipulative and you say, Barack Obama and Mark Barden, they tried to use this story to change the Second Amendment. And although, of course, people have sympathy for all the parents and people who are involved in the Sandy Hook tragedy, it doesn't have the desired effect in the argument because it's manipulation. The audience is not going to change its views on the Second Amendment because of an emotional reaction to this isolated incident of this tragedy that happened in Sandy Hook. So I really just want a little bit more analysis in there of these things. Or you tell me that, Sheryl Sandberg is credible because she's the COO of Facebook and she worked for Google and she worked for the government and she's a graduate of Harvard and, all these wonderful things about her. And that's true. And that is a step of analysis, is to break it down for me, is to say this is part of ethos. But the next step, the further part that you want to go with, is where it comes back to your thesis. If you say this person is making an effective argument, well, why does Sheryl Sandberg, being the COO of Google or Facebook, make this effective? What reaction does the audience have to that? And of course you don't know. You can't see inside the minds of the audience, but you are an audience member and you have a reaction to this. And I don't want you to write in like my reaction was Dear Diary language, but instead to phrase it as, when Sheryl Sandberg tries to persuade her audience to believe that women need to lean into their careers, and she gives these statistics, it makes the audience more aware that there really is a problem. It's not just Sandberg saying it, that they can look at the data and say, wow, if there are more women graduating than men with these upper-level management degrees, and yet when we look at the workforce, we don't see women represented with equality, well, something is going on there. And maybe Sheryl Sandberg effectively targeted that it's, women that are the problem, that they're choosing families over careers, or they're choosing not to lean into their career and be as ambitious as possible. And that's why there's this dearth of female executives in the corporate workforce. So anyway, I'm going on and on here, but I'm just going to include a link to the handout. Hopefully that will be a little bit more clear than my ramblings and something you can read at your leisure. But I did try to identify in your papers if I thought analysis was something that was lacking. Something else secondary to analysis that I thought was an issue, but I did not comment on in people's papers generally, was MLA format. whether it was the format of the paper, your name and header information, your works cited page, your in-text citations, all of that stuff that you encountered in 1101 and 1102 and that I supplied links to throughout our modules, it needs to be correct because points will be deducted. And I do expect, by the third level English, I might not deduct too many points for minor errors like the period going before the parenthetical citation instead of after it. But, I will subtract points if it's not following general, common MLA format, commonly known characteristics. The other thing I wanted to say was just, I think I said this before the rhetorical analysis, but just to be sure, is that I did comment mainly just on content. So I didn't comment on things like word choice, commas, grammar mechanics, MLA. Really, I was looking at, do you have a thesis? Is your thesis what I'm asking for? Does your intro do what it's supposed to do? And maybe major issues of organization I might have commented on as well, and analysis. So I commented more on content, critical thinking issues than I did on those other details, which you're still assessed on. You're assessed on your word choice, you're assessed on your organization, you're assessed on MLA, and in grammar mechanics, but these are not things I commented on in your rough draft, so perhaps that's something you want to ask the Learning Center tutor about. I will be on campus tomorrow. I have a meeting there from about 1 to 3, I believe, so if you're interested in meeting with me afterwards from 3 to 4, I will be around. Just shoot me an email and I'll try to get back to you before my meeting. Oh, and I have a meeting before that too, so it would have to be, tonight or early tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling now. Hope you all are doing well. Bye.